Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it happens to be for you. I hope you're doing well. I haven't done this in a really long time, so you're going to have to bear with me. I'm a little bit on the old rusty side. So, will Tottenham go big? That is today's topic. We have seen, of course, some links to some really good players that I'm sure a lot of people are really, really excited about. I know I'm excited about them for sure. But will they actually go through with it? That is the actual question, isn't it? Let's be honest. Will they go through with getting these players? Big up to Anthony. I hope you're well. I don't normally go live, but yeah, obviously, I was like, you know what? Stuff it. I'll go live today. Big up to Drilla as well. But yeah, like I say, will it happen is the actual question. So let's first talk about the updates that we have got on Tonali and Fernandez. So it's really confusing. There's a lot of different things coming out. When it comes to Tonali, we've been told that he's interested in Arsenal, that Man City are sitting in the wings and waiting. There's talk that he doesn't actually want to leave. He doesn't want to leave Newcastle. He's happy to stay. The demands of the prices have changed in different places you read. Depending says like about 100 mil, but I think that's in euros. So I think people confuse it because it's euros versus pounds. But there is a lot of talk and a lot of different stuff going around. As far as I'm aware, we have put in that one bid. There was talk of us putting in a second bid. Now, I'm not sure if we actually have done that or not, but there was rumours that we have put that in, and they are looking at it. Again, that's another rumour. Now, my problem with it, I've always said, is if a bigger club comes in, we've done all the legwork and they could just swoop in. Whether we take a week, whether we take 3 days, that can always happen. That can always happen where another club does swoop in. Unfortunately, that is the way of the world when it comes to football. Big up, Wayne. I hope you're well. I hope you're well. And also big up to Niall too. It feels really strange doing lives again, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, so obviously, I think with the Tonali deal, it is a bit of touch and go with that. I'm not going to lie. I do think it is a little bit of touch and go, whether we'll get him. The Fernandez updates, again, very confusing. They have got, we've got some aggregators saying that Man United are very relaxed about it. They're not worried. They're going to get him. They're not really fussed because they think that he wants Man United and Man United only. Then we've got big aggregators like Fabrizio Romano saying it's going to be down to the highest bidder, and it doesn't matter what club it is. He doesn't mind either. So again, it's a bit of a confusing one. There's definitely a lot of talk. I'm not sure what's true and what's not. I think that we have to wait and see. I just, like I say, I don't trust none of it because there's so many different rumours. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous how many rumours there is going around at the moment. So yeah, very, very strange. Let me know what you guys think. It's strange seeing you go live. What's it been, over a year? Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've done a live. A really, really long time, Drilla. It is a bit weird, not going to lie. I feel a bit weird about it, to be fair. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think we'll get either of them? Do you think we'll get both of them? Do you think we'll get neither of them? I'm a bit concerned that we're going to get neither. I'm really honestly thinking that. If they come in Man United, then he's going to go to them. If they offer them more money and he is set on going to them, it might be a case of he wants to wait until they can get the money or get it arranged. Tonali, I'm a bit worried that a Man City will come in and say, well, you've done all the legwork. Here we go. Here's the money. And that's it. We're done. No, I don't know. The problem you've got is when these big players do come up, there's always going to be other bigger clubs coming in for them because they're a big priced player. So you just know that really they're going to go to them. Like, it is going to happen if they do come along. If you haven't already, please make sure you do smash that like button and you subscribe if you haven't done so. So it just means that it pushes me further out there. I'm trying to build up this channel a little bit. It doesn't matter too much. Like I'm not majorly pushing, but it would be nice to have a few more subscribers. Not going to lie. It begs the question: do the clubs have a backup plan if we don't get them? They have the money to get them both in. Let's see if the new Tottenham are going to back up everything they say. Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? It's not just about whether we actually get them or not. If we don't get them, have we got a plan? And it just feels like sometimes that we don't. We don't have a plan. I think we were in talks apparently with somebody else. There was another midfielder. I can't think of his name. But I do think that I think that we will hopefully have a backup plan. But is it going to satisfy people? Because it won't be a Tonali and Fernandez because we've been linked with them. That's the thing. I think that's where the problem lies. James is saying, Mia, I think you get Tonali because you're the only club offering him 275k. Also, Tonali only happens for City if Rodri leaves. Yeah, there was talks of him leaving or not potentially signing another contract. So, you know, they can afford to do it at City because they obviously have a lot of money. Julia's saying, do you think it could be the financial thing as a lot of clubs are holding off till the 1st of July, holding the transfers till then? Yeah, I think so. I think that what's going to happen is on the 1st, you're going to see a lot more activity. And I think that possibly that Man United are going to come in then and say, here's the money. And I think that the player knows that. So I think they're going to hold it up. Great English from me there, but you get my drift. Yes, fine. I understand you. It's all good. So, yeah, as far as they're concerned, I think that it's a bit of a touch and go situation. I don't fully trust what will happen with them. I'm not going to lie. If you're watching this on playback, please make sure you leave an opinion in the comments because I'd love to know everyone's opinions on this. So we've got a here we go for the goalkeeper, Dubravka. I can never say his name. It's really the way it's spelt. So he is an older keeper, and it looks like the Kinksky will be our number one. I'm pleased about him being our number one, to be fair. I feel like he deserves that chance. I'm happy that we're going to get someone else in because it does look like Vicario is going to be leaving. So, yeah, I'm pleased. I think that he deserves to be that number one. And yes, we've got somebody else in who is experienced. So if anything happens, we know that he can get in and I think he'll be reasonable. I don't think he's a bad keeper. So I think actually it's probably a good signing. Yes, it was a free again. And I know people are not going to be happy about the fact that it was a free, but it is what it is. Like at the end of the day, I'm not fussed if it's a free or not. I'm really not. I'm not fussed because I just think that at the end of the day, it's more important about getting experience in. And I think that's what you want. That's what everyone wanted, isn't it? Everyone wanted to basically be there with all the big boys. And that means that you're going to have some form of experience. So, yeah, I think it's actually a good signing. Yeah, no, I agree. Experienced goalie who can show Kinksky the ropes. Absolutely, Drilla, 100%. Kinksky earned his chance to be our number one, fully deserved. Yeah, I agree. A lot of people were saying no. Honestly, a lot of people were saying that he shouldn't be our number one. There was so many people saying that we should get a better goalkeeper and bring him in and Kinksky can hold bench, but I just think that would have caused more of a problem. I honestly think that would have meant that Kinksky would have wanted to leave and then we needed two goalkeepers. And I think that was just creating a problem that we just didn't need. If I'm honest, I really think it's just creating a problem. And goalkeepers, you don't tend to fight for your place for goalkeepers. You tend to keep someone in for consistency's sake because you want that consistency from a goalkeeper. And obviously the trust builds and the relationship builds between them and the defence. So for me, I think that he did have that. I think that our defenders seemed a lot calmer when he was about. I think that it showed compared to what we had when we had Vicario. I actually think it was really like different. You could see they seemed to trust him. They really did seem to trust him a lot more. In my opinion, anyway, I felt like that. I don't know. Did you guys feel like that? Did you feel like that he was more trusted than what Vicario was? Because I just think that at the end of the day, the fact that the defenders felt like that, in my opinion, means that it's better to have someone like Kinski in than it is to have a Vicario. So our fan base could be a little fickle and negative. They want new blood in the team and rebuild, but they also want immediate success. I know. I sometimes wonder what our fans actually want, if I'm honest. It's just very confusing. They say they don't want youngsters, and then they're moaning about it when youngsters get sold. They say they want success now, but then they're saying it's like they don't expect these players aren't good enough. When we do try and bring in some good players, they're saying they're not good enough. I don't understand it, if I'm honest. It's really, really confusing. I never understand some of our fans for the life of me. I have many a debate with some fans, and I'm always confused. And the question is, what is it that you actually want? Me, I just want what's best for Tottenham. I want them to do well, and at the end of the day, I need to trust in De Zerbi to be able to get us there, and that means getting De Zerbi the players that he wants. So that for me is where I'm at. So the next topic of conversation. Yes, I have the power. Naughty people in here, I will eliminate you. Yeah, I made you mod. I hope you don't mind, Julla. I'm just thinking that if anyone just jumps in and starts, trolling or whatever, then it's better to have a mod and someone that I trust. So, damn, I can't be naughty. Does that mean I'm already in trouble? Well, it doesn't take you long to get into trouble, Wayne. Let's be honest. I know you well enough by now. So money that can be made from Tottenham. So I was sitting here thinking about how much money realistically we can actually make with the players that we are going to be selling. So when you think that we've got a few youngsters, Solomon, according to Alistair Gold, has been told that he's not wanted, which isn't really a shocker. We've already sold Felice. People maybe like Scarlett, some of the older lot of our youngsters, I think that they will probably be sold, but not for massive prices, of course, but they will be sold. Then you've got to look at the main squad. So Vicario, Dragusin, and possibly Romero, although the talk of him staying, I don't know how true that is. Then you have got Sarr, who will go, and Richarlison, who will go. Now, I was looking at a realistic estimate of how much this actually could bring us, and actually, it's not a bad amount of money, really. It's not a bad amount of money at all. Actual profit made will be slightly less because obviously what we bought them for. But when it comes to bringing that money back into the club to possibly go back out again, I think actually it's around maybe 200,000, millions, thousands, whatever. Yeah, getting myself confused. 200 million. I think that actually that wouldn't be that bad. I think that that's a reasonable amount of money to bring back into the club, and maybe that's why we're confident in going big, because we do think, well, we are going to be making that money. So yeah, I do think that it's a good amount. I don't think that we aren't going to make money by a long shot. I think that we will. Romero, Sarr, Solomon, Vicario, possibly Bergval, Scarlett, Devine, and Vuskovic as well. With Vuskovic, Bergval as well, I've got to add them in. Yeah, that's a really good amount of money, I think, that we can actually make, if I'm honest. I really do. Vic is on his way out, according to Alistair Gold. And not Alistair Gold, sorry. I think it was Fabrizio Romano said that he's on his way out. So, yeah. Yeah, I think, like I say, that for me is a reasonable amount. What do you guys think we will make from these players? Do you think we'll get a decent amount, or do you think that I am just dreaming? Even if we didn't sell, say, a Romero, which I honestly think we will, I still think we have a reasonable amount of money to add on to whatever money they're planning to put in. I think that we've got to understand how it obviously all works when it comes to outgoing money, ingoing money. But I do reckon that we get a decent amount. I really do. I think that considering we've got some decent players, I think Bergval, Vuskovic will bring in good money. Vicario, a reasonable amount of money. Romero should be a good amount of money. And if we even sell Dragusin and we get back what we paid for him, I can't remember how much we paid for him now, or thereabouts, then we've broken even. So, like I say, I don't think actually that's bad at all. I really don't. So, I think really and realistically, there's a decent amount of money to be made. Wayne saying we can make money for the transfer market, but the club have to have the balls to pull the trigger. Yeah, that's the thing. The thing about it is go big or go home in it. Because for me, it's all well and good having that money, but at some point we're going to have to try and go in for one of these big players and be serious. Because once we do that, you're taking that step further, because you're then saying we are a big club and we will get these bigger players over the line. And I think we have to do that at some point. Like we really have to get that over the line and take that next step within like being a big club versus a club like a Newcastle who are in that bigger bracket, but we need to sort of set ourselves apart from them and from like an Aston Villa, because they're very much close to us when it comes to a lot of things like how big of a club they actually are. And I think with the trophies that they've won, and they're not a big club globally, and they're not a big club as in they don't make a lot of money, but they are getting closer to us. So I think that we have to make sure that we separate ourselves from them. And I think by being able to get a big player, it will take us over that step of doing that. It's definitely time for the owners and the board to go big and just keep going big. They have to take a chance at some point. That's right. It is. It's that risk thing, isn't it? At the end of the day, you have to take that risk. There has to be a risk at some point taken where you kind of because the thing is, right, we've dipped our toe. We've kind of dipped our toe, and we've never actually taken that jump. And I think that is something that's been a problem with Tottenham. And I think if we want to join the big boys at that big boy table, we have to be able to do that. And we have to, like you say, continue to do that. That's so important for us to carry on doing it. We can't just do it once and then go, I don't know, that was scary. We have to continue it. And that is the only way we're going to build up our club, if I'm honest. That's the only way. But let's see if they do it. I don't know. Like, I just don't have much faith in them doing it. But I think we all feel like that because of the past. So I think that's obviously reasonable to think that they're not going to do it, because at the end of the day, we've not had any proof in the past of it. So we're going to think, well, it's just the same as normal. So this is their time to prove it. I think they have to prove it. They have to show it. They can't just keep talking the talk. They have to walk that bloody walk. They can't keep saying, oh, we want to win this. We're going to do better. We're really sorry about this. That's not acceptable. Like, it ain't acceptable. So that is the next question. In fact, will they go big? Thing is, it looks like they're going to go big. But that's the problem. They always look like they're going to go big, right? But they never do. That's the thing. They always say things. They say they're going to do this. They say they're going to do that. They go in for this player. They go in for that player. But realistically, are they going to do it? That's the thing. Like I just said, the end of the day, just putting in a bid and getting it rejected and then just thinking, oh, well, we're just going to walk away is no good. We have to fight for it. We have to fight for us to do better, and we have to fight for players. Like I said, I really believe that if you want to be a big boy, you're going to have to act like a big boy. You can't just act like a P word. I'm not going to say, because it probably get me demonetized and me get into trouble. But the word that I used to say as a kid about people who weren't brave. But yeah, I feel like that's what we are. And we're going to be known as that team forever if we don't ever step up and make that move to be a bigger club. We're never going to be in that bracket. It's just ridiculous. We have to do it. There's a piece on Twitter, a few points of what came out of Vinay's meeting with Fab yesterday. Last word on Spurs tweeted it if you'd like to read it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I will give that a read. I haven't actually got my phone. I left my phone away from me. So I'm going to have to try and find it. I did read that he was, I did see that he was saying that it's not acceptable. I did see that, that he, when he met with Fab. The thing is, right, I have never ever trusted Fab. And I've always been a bit skeptical of of what they're trying to do. I'm a bit like, I don't know, like I can't explain it, but I've always been quite a skeptical person about them. I don't know what they really do. I don't really know what they really actually stand for. It feels like that they never really set out what they actually are, as like a what they actually are. They obviously do very well with helping out people with like tickets, etc. But with them, I just think, like, what are you? They're a bit kind of like like half and half. They try and be the good guy and the bad guy. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like they don't want to be the bad guy to the club. They don't want to be the bad guy to the fans. They don't want to be like, they try and be a good guy. You know, they try and play the good guy and play it all sort of safe, if you like. And some of the stuff that they come out with is just absolute rubbish. Like, some of the statements they come out with is absolute pants. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I just don't even know what you're actually chatting about. And that's what I'm saying. It's just a bunch of nonsense. It just sounds a bit, for a better word, like a bit woke, a bit wokey. It feels like it's a bit like wokey talk. Like, they're not, I don't know, they don't sound serious, because some of the stuff, like I say, is just a bit weird what they say. I can't actually load it. My computer's being really silly. But yeah, it's all talk. That's right. It's all talk, right? Until they actually do actions. And that's what we want to see, right? We want to see actions. We can no longer have just talk. It's ridiculous just to have them say a load of waffle the whole time and not act upon it. Like, it's, yeah, we just, that's not what we want. So for me, they have to do better. They have to do better. They can't keep just saying it. Vinay, what do people think of Vinay? Because a lot of people are actually against Vinay. I'm a bit against him because he's an ex-Gooner, so I don't really trust him at all. That he is an ex-Gooner, but has he got the best interest of Tottenham at heart? I don't know, but it seems like he's trying. I mean, he's saying it, but does he actually mean it? Because sometimes you can say things, right? We've all had that when someone says something to you and you think that they mean it until they prove otherwise, and you're like, oh, actually, you didn't mean that, right? So, yeah, I think that's what it is with him. It feels like he's talking the talk, but does he actually mean it? Good to see you back. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much. Yeah, Guna blood, let's see what he can pull off. That's right. The thing is, right, is that a lot of people won't give credit, where if they do something good, I will say, well, fair enough. At the end of the day, if Lang and him managed to pull off getting Tonali and managed to get Fernandez, then do you know what? We're going to have to put our hands up and say, do you know what? They've done good. And maybe it wasn't all along just them that were the issue with getting players. I think that you have to do that. I think that's the only way for it to be fair. I think that is the only way for it to be fair, is if you say, well, fair enough, they actually did good for that. But they have to do good continuously. They can't just do one good thing. That's not acceptable. You know, we can't just have, oh, look, we've done this one good thing. Woohoo. No, we have to see more. We have to see more. Wayne saying, I don't like Vinay. I don't trust him. He looks like a slime. Yeah. Do you know what? He kind of reminds me of, Peter Pettigrew. If anyone watches Harry Potter or likes Harry Potter, he kind of reminds me of him. Like, he's a bit kind of like sly. He backstabs his friends. And yeah, he gives me those kind of vibes. A bit of a Peter Pettigrew vibe, slug. Or like, yeah, he just gives me that kind of, I don't know, like he's a bit of a slime ball, like you say, a bit kind of like a bit backstabby. I don't trust him because obviously he's an ex-gooner. But as I say, if he does good for us, I'm going to say to her, I'm going to say, fair enough, he done good. Like, I can't deny if he does good for us. I can't say, oh my God, he's terrible. I mean, yeah, I'm going to have to, like I say, hold my hands up and say fair dues. But as I say, I honestly don't trust him. And it also Lang, trusting Lang with obviously everything too. He seems like a bit of a, like, not much for personality. Reminds me a bit of Thomas Frank, like not much for much there. So I don't know what he can actually get done because obviously, yeah, he's obviously a bit like that. Right, finally, this is working, so I can get it up to see what he said. Let me have a look. Right, okay. In the recent Tottenham Hotspur Fan Advisory Board meeting, the CEO, Vinay Venkatesham, provided updates on several areas of the club. Football performances are now at the centre of all major club decisions. Major upgrades are underway at the training ground, including the gym, tactical room, and players' restaurant. Nice to know. Significant new investment has been made into the academy to strengthen the talent pipeline. New performance director Dan has reviewed medical and performance operations, leading to major staff change. The men's squad needs rebuilding over multiple transfer windows, not just one. Spurs want more quality leadership, youth and experience in the squad. Players trading must improve with better wage structure, quicker deals and stronger sales revenue. Well, let's see if all of that happens, because I don't believe that that will happen because it's just talk at the moment. But yeah, let's see. He reminds me of Penfold from Danger Mouse. No, I like Penfold though. I like Penfold. That's why I said Peter Pettigrew, because he's got that guy. He turns into a rat. So I think actually that really suits Venkatesham, to be fair. Good afternoon. What's up? How are you all doing in this heat? I'm all right. It's not that hot. I mean, Drill will probably know and understand this. But when you go to other countries that are really hot, like I used to go to Cyprus when I was younger a lot, this actually isn't that hot. Although they say the hot is different, I just think it's, to me, this ain't that hot. Like, it really isn't. At the moment, I've got the door open and the blinds drawn because here, where I'm in my front room, the sun doesn't come in until later, so it's shady. So when the wind blows in here, it's actually really nice and actually quite cool. And the dog is actually sitting right by the door. So one of the dogs, anyway, she's nice and cool sitting by the door, and the other one's just laying on the sofa. So yeah, it's nice and cool in here, to be fair. Isn't that everything the fans have been saying? They must actually be listening. Joe, what though, Wayne? It's not just about whether they're going to listen, it's whether they're going to actually take action on that. There's all well and good listening. Sometimes people can listen, but it's actually whether they take it in and observe and like take it in properly and actually act upon that. Because it's no good you saying to somebody, can you please stop doing something because I really don't like it? And they go, okay, yeah. And then they just will carry on and doing it anyway. Like, that's just silly. Yeah, it's Minnie. She just won't sit still because she can hear outside. So she keeps making noises and barking because she can hear the cars and stuff outside, but I've got the door open. She won't even let me grab her to come put her on my lap, so she'll stop. So yeah, like I say, it's no good if somebody does that and then doesn't actually do anything about it. I think sometimes, though, they listen to a lot of social media, but so far they've not actually acted on it. If we look back, so I don't know how much notice they really do take. Yeah, I don't know how much. Leave her, she's fine. She's annoying dog. Okay. Come say hello to the peoples and stop being a pest. The smaller dog is easier to pick up. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, honestly. I just hope that they really do listen. And to be honest, the fan advisory board aren't exactly the best people, if you ask me, to sort of talk to, because I don't know how much they really speak for the actual fans, if I'm honest. Like I say, they've said things about when it was De Zerbi being put as manager, they weren't very happy about it. So I know they don't really talk, I don't think, for us really overall. Mini Moo, yeah. Mini Moo. Silly girl. But yeah, so do you guys think that we will go big? Do you think we'll get any of these big players over the line? I think even if we went for one that's maybe not as big as Tonali, not as big as Fernandez, I think as long as we get decent players and we get them reasonably done reasonably quickly, I think that that will satisfy people, because I think it's just about that as well. It's about being serious with your plan and seeing a plan. You know, I think that's what everybody wants to see. I think that's what everyone wants to see, that they're not just going to try and then give up and be like, well, we couldn't get this big player, so that's it, sort of thing. I think that we have to see more from them. Want to get down on it? Dirty dog. Yeah. The thing is, that's what I said, Drilla, like, it's all good them trying, but it's more about whether they're going to say, well, we tried. Because we've seen a lot of that in the past, right? Where they've been like, well, we tried. I think that everybody's done with that now. Everybody's done with we tried. Everybody wants to see more. We've got to see it where they actually do something. And as I say, I honestly think that even if it is a lesser player, but a good player, I think that a lot of people would be on board with that. I think a lot of people would be on board with that. I think a lot of people would say, well, at least they had a plan. At least they had somebody else in the pipeline, and they didn't just think, well, that's it now. We couldn't get that player. Never mind. That's what I think. Or make a panic buying right at the end. I think that we have to be decisive. I think decisiveness is what we've been missing. Being decisive in the window, walking away when it maybe isn't working, saying, okay, cool, walk away, have somebody else lined up. And that's it, like having that next person, not panicking at the end of a window. It's all well and good sometimes getting someone at the end of a window because it's a good offer and you think, yeah, this is good. Like, actually, this could work well for us. But I don't want to see a panic buying at the end when we've had all of this time to sort something else out for an important player, like an important position, like a striker. I don't want to be seeing that. Like, and especially now with these midfield options as well, I don't want to be hearing that. I want to be able to say, right, we were decisive in the actual window, and also getting rid of some players. I think we need to also be ruthless, get rid of some. I think for me, going big isn't just about what we get in, it's also about what we get out. Like, I feel like we need to get these players out. Like, off you trot. Like, we don't want to see you no more. And there's plenty of those players out that we've got. Our team is so bloated. It's ridiculously bloated. I looked like before and I was just like, wow, that is some team that we've got. Like, it really is bloated when you think about it, because we had a lot of players out on loan. So a lot of those players need to get gone now. Some of these youngsters that we've had for too long that we keep sending out on loan, they need to go. We have to be ruthless with it. We can't just keep saying, oh, they might come good, or that they might, give them a bit more time, or we can't sell them, so we're basically going to keep them. No, I don't want that. I don't want us to keep any of these players now. We just need to get them gone. We need to get them gone. They have to go. Even if we don't get a lot of money for them, at the end of the day, any of our youth products are actually a bonus because we get their all profit. So I think at the end of the day, all profit is better for me. It's for me anyway. Like, let me know what you guys think. But I think actually it's 100% better for us to get rid of them. So, right. So this is the squad, which hasn't actually been updated, but I will read the ones that I know that obviously the ones that haven't, that have gone, I won't. The ones that have gone, I won't actually read. So we've got Vicario, Dragusin, Danso, Simmons, Gallagher, Richarlison, Madison, Tell, Adogi, Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Romero, Solanke, Kudos, Kulu, Porro, Spence, Odebert, Saar, Benton, Kinski, Davies, Mickey, Souza, and Brandon Austin. And obviously, we've got the ones that we've just brought in. And then on loan, we've got Ashley Phillips, Yang Min Hook, Vuskovic, Divine, Koto Takai, and Dane Scarlett. So that's a lot of players. That is a heck of a lot of players. And then obviously the other youth ones that are probably not that great. So yeah, for me, I honestly think that we need to get these players gone. The only difficult is we haven't got European football to entice them. The big dogs have, so these big players will want to go to City and them arses, etc. Yeah, no, that's it, Julla. I said all along, if they come along, we're stuffed because they will want them. That's why I said we've got to maybe have a middle ground of a player that's maybe not as high as that, but then have one that's a bit lower down that we can feasibly get that maybe they might not look at. And then start from there and build up to be getting bigger players. That's probably, I'd say, a good idea to sort of do that. But yeah, as I say, I think that it is tricky. I think that we do want to try and step up. I think we have to. I think we have to step up. I really do. I think that there's no excuses now. We have to do better and we have to have a plan. We can't carry on with this half-heartedly doing things. I think that is ridiculous, in my honest opinion. Absolutely ridiculous. Oh yeah, Mikey Moore. I forgot Mikey Moore. I think he'll go back out on loan. But yeah, I think, like I say, we've got too many players that just need to get gone. And I think that is a major part of building a team and a squad. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, as I have been live for 40 minutes. And for now, I'm going to be keeping my lives, if I do them, short and sweet, a bit like me, some might say, although I have been told I've got a resting bitch face. So, I don't know. But please make sure, if you're watching this back, you leave a comment because they're really important to push the video further. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, because that does really, really help the channel grow and get out to more people. That would be fantastic. I appreciate every single one of you. Take very, very good care of yourselves, and we'll speak again real soon.